FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creatively on Sunday the 19th of February 2023 with FLOSSTUBE number 165. And yeah, coming to you from sunny, a bit too sunny for me, but very windy Upper Hutt in the Wellington region of New Zealand. Welcome back to my weekly YouTube video about counted cross stitch and other random stuff, but mostly counted cross stitch. So yeah, I might squint a bit because it's really bright. So I possibly should have put the blinds down, but we've had such horrible weather over the last, I don't know what, with cyclone Gabrielle, is that her name, its name? And everything, it's just been, it's nice to have some blue sky and fluffy white clouds outside. But yeah, I am squinting. So speaking of cyclones, yes, my heart goes out to, you know, the thousands, tens of thousands of people in New Zealand, particularly in the upper half of the North Island of New Zealand, who have had their lives disrupted by Cyclone Gabrielle last week, and kind of started the week before, but it's just devastating. Whole little communities have just been completely like washed away with just horrendous flooding, and particularly like, you know, Gisborne, Hawke's Bay and other parts of North Island, the far north, and Auckland. And I know my best friend in Waikato, she was without power for a couple of days and stuff. So yeah, it's just been really, it's quite horrendous. So I just can't imagine, flooding is just horrible. And you know, the lives that have been lost has been really tragic as well. So no, there's a lot of different ways to support. So anyone who's able to support, whether it's through Red Cross or other charities, or donating blankets. I know that a local stitcher, Wendy, is working with her community, quilting community, to gather quilts and things to donate. Yeah, so it's just, yeah, anyway, just thinking of everyone before I go on and show this luxury of a craft, which, you know, I can do. We kind of got away with a lot of the weather here in Wellington. It wasn't any worse, was way less worse than our worst weather in winter. So it looks like it just missed us. So kind of very grateful for that, really. But yeah, anyway, been working full week at work. I don't remember. I was just really busy, new projects and stuff. And then talked to Dad. He's okay. He's just feeling really low energy this weekend, so he slept a lot yesterday. But was going to go and visit with friends today and watch some yachting and stuff on the telly. But yeah, he's just feeling a bit worn down at the moment, but it's doing, I guess, generally okay. And what else did I do? Oh, yesterday it was quite fun. I went to a orchestra. The New Zealand Symphony Orchestra was playing the music for West Side Story. They did such a great job. So like at times I just forgot even that it was live. It's like, are they pretending? And it's actually the music. And where we were sitting, we were able to see the conductor with his screen showing all of his, like, I'm kind of fascinated with how things work, not just, you know, the end product, like, and how, you know, productions and stuff come together, and watching how the timings and on his, I could see his screen with the countdown to the next song, and where it changed, like the beat and the tempo and everything. It was quite fun. But I mean, West Side Story, it's, you know, it's quite cringy in a, like, musicals are cringy anyway. Like, if you love musicals, you love the fact that it's a little bit of cheese. Like, it's not real life, right? People breaking into song and singing and all about their feelings and stuff. But, you know, the West Side Story is very cringy. But also ignoring, like, the fact that the language is a bit outdated, and these juvenile delinquents were played by, how old was Bernardo in that? Like, he must have been in his late 30s. He was like, they weren't 18-year-olds, but, you know, the actors. But, you know, the choreography is fantastic. You know, there's enough kind of links to Romeo and Juliet, and of course I'm a Shakespeare fan. But also, you know, change the language, just change a few things up. And like, I think the issues that they gloss over with regards to how, you know, minorities and immigrants are treated, and just, you know, the whole gang concept and stuff. It's just kind of interesting where these problems still exist. Has it got any better? But anyway, yeah, so that was kind of fun. So what's coming up? Stitching. We have, for those in the know, if you're New Zealand based or likely to be New Zealand based in May, the Stitch Witches had announced the 2023 Dunedin Stitching Retreat. So far since we started the first one in Wellington in 2020, every year we've had a retreat. It's just been hosted by a different group of people. We don't have the sort of capacity or energy here for, I guess, one group to arrange it every year. So it's been quite nice that someone else has picked up the mantle every year. So this year Stitch Witches in Dunedin's going to run it, and it's May 6th and 7th in Dunedin. They've announced like a save the date. Tickets aren't yet on sale, but if you are interested, go follow their Facebook group, which is Dunedin Stitching Retreat 2023. On Facebook, and they'll announce when tickets are available. I think they're going to limit them to about 100. It's probably okay because not everyone can go to Dunedin. I already have my flights booked, staying with Christine down in Dunedin, going an extra day so I can do a little bit of sightseeing, and I'm really looking forward to it. So if I don't get a ticket, I'm just going to have a great weekend in Dunedin. I'll just crash the party, but no, it'll be fine, I'm sure. Yeah, that's probably pretty much it. Hot chocolate, which is scalding hot, so now I have burnt tonsils. Right, I have a little bit of haul. I mentioned a week or two ago that I did have a couple of things ordered from A Stitch in Time in Tasmania, in Australia, and what prompted me to order from them, I just needed this one spool of Overdyed 103 to finish kitting up a project that I'm not starting this year. Or maybe I will, who knows. So, so many places had it not in stock, so they had it in stock. So they got a wee order from me. So it's just one final Overdyed, and that's for, not taking it out of the bag, Alexander's of Trentham, a Hands Across the Sea design that I'm gonna reach out to make it the McDonald's of Halbury, which is 3 generations, well, 3 great grandparents ago, so great grandparents, I think. I always get my greats wrong. Might be greats. No, it is great greats, yeah. And so now I've got everything, it's fully kitted up. So over the next little while, I'll take some time to rechart all of the initials and the name and everything, and then have it all ready to go. So when I start it, I can start it. So I'm doing it all in the cord for Overdyed 103. So yay, fully kitted up. Not an insignificant project. And of course, you don't just order a spool of silk from Australia. So I ordered a couple of pieces of witch-shelt linen because they store, they have witch-shelt and they have a number of different cuts, which is nice. So you can get a cut that suits your project. So I've got the fabric, the called for fabric for Moonglow, the Nora Corbett I bought a few weeks ago. I don't remember. It was one of my birthday hauls. So this is, they don't have it, no, what is it? Oh, 32 count Mediterranean Sea. It is a lovely colour. Some people don't like witch-shelt because it's really stiff. I don't mind stiff, it's fine. I have used witch-shelt fabric in the past for a couple of my Mirabilias back in the day. So that is called for Moonglow. So for these two, I've got Moonglow and Floral Dream. I'm going to have a look at my silk and see if I can substitute some of the silk from Stash. There's a couple, they each have quite a few Karen water lilies, which are beautiful. I love Karen water lilies. They're absolutely beautiful to stitch with, but they're not cheap. And these are not huge designs. And I suspect for some of them, you use sweet FA of the thread. So, like certainly the green blue that's in these leaves, I definitely have some Silks For You that I can swap for that. I did have a look at what they were. One of them I probably will end up buying a couple because they're very subtle variegations and lovely colours, and I think that the Silks For You that I have is the colour changes are too kind of stark. But anyway, I'm going to see what I can do. I reckon I can probably kit up out of the 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, one's repeat. So out of the 9 Karen water leaves for these 2 projects, I reckon I can probably kit up 6 or 7 from Silks For You using something that's close enough. So we'll see how we go. But anything I'm not happy with, if I'm not happy with it, I'll just order the Karen water leaves. But yeah, it's only saving money is the reason I'm not ordering them right now anyway. I might. So yeah, Mediterranean Sea. That cover photo is a pretty good cover photo for that fabric. So well done, because you know what cover photos are like. And then I also picked up a piece of witch out for Floral Dream. I did not get the called for because I didn't really think it looked a bit worn, but you know, ugh. And I think this was natural brown linen, and I just thought it was a bit ugh. So I picked up amber, which I like better. I like a little bit more colour. So I've gone with 32 count witch out in amber for her. I just like this colour more. I think it's more skin-like. She looks a bit, I mean, that's not skin-like, but she's in the moonlight, so she's got a weird colour. Anyway, I don't know. So I got that fabric again, and yeah, again, I need to sort through my Silks For You. I've got more than Silks For You as well. I've got some other silks to see what I might be able to do. And then get them kitted up. Again, no plans to start them yet. I just like to have things ready. And then I also had a look at what charts and all that they had. And I picked up this little book. This came out, I think, last year at market maybe. And it's from Brenda Gervais, Keeper of the Pins by Brenda Gervais. And it's just a whole bunch of little pin cushions, pin pillows. They are not recipes for these tomatoes, but I'm sure I can work out how to make a tomato or two. And again, no plans to start, but it is a really cute little book. And there's some, she talks through some of the accoutrement that are in her pictures and some of the reasons why, the inspiration for some of the designs and stuff. So it's quite a nice little read. Everything in it, the called for is 36 count vintage country mocha, so not a difficult fabric to source. And I think that she uses weeks DMC, so a couple of DMC and a couple of Gentle Arts. So not a huge investment, and of course you've got to find some buttons and stuff. Anyway, I just thought it was really cute, so I put that aside for the future. So that was my wee haul. Yeah, pretty exciting. I did stitch on a few things this week. I don't know. I worked in the office 3 days. I went out for farewell drinks for somebody. I went out, had a hair appointment one night. I went to the movies one night. The Whale. Oh, that was heavy. Whew. Yeah, it's a heavy movie. I enjoyed how it was made though. I enjoyed, I was thinking as I was watching it, it was very much like the way they did the stage directions. Like it felt like they were doing a play, like the way they kind of moved across the stage. That often in movies people don't wander around a lot, but in this they're sort of, and the main character, you sort of get the impression that everyone was sort of circling around and kind of, he was sort of trapped in that space, which he kind of was. He was trapped in his body and trapped in his house, right? And then of course they go based on a play. I'm like, oh, well, it makes sense. They kind of kept a lot of their play kind of feeling about it. I mean, they did leave the room and go to other rooms, but sort of, into a corridor really, but it was interesting to me. Anyway, distracted. So yeah, went to a play on hair appointment on Wednesday, went to a play on Thursday, went to a movie on Thursday, had farewell drinks for a colleague Friday night, went out to the orchestra last night, and then I think Monday after work I went over and dog sat for my friend while she did her groceries and stuff, you know. So I don't know how I got all the stitching done because I worked in the office 3 days, so it's a bit weird. I don't know how I do it. By menopause and not sleeping. There you go. Okay, so first of all, I picked up my Cherry Parker New Zealand Flowers cross stitch ball. So we're doing a very loose stitch along on the New Zealand Facebook group, I guess, New Zealand cross stitch Facebook group. Cherry Parker is a New Zealand designer. This ball is particularly about New Zealand flora, and probably doesn't appeal too much to people who aren't from New Zealand because, to be fair, some of our flowers look a bit weird. But yeah, it's kind of fun. So I am doing this on 25 count Lugana, white, moss green and ice blue, and I intend to fully finish this in December. So I'm just doing a little bit every month. I have stitched all of the little squares on the blue that I've got, and I have shown them in a previous video. I'm not recapping them right now. So I've started working on the hexagons. There are 8 hexagons, 6 octagons, I can't remember. My plan is to do 2 of the hexagons each month until they're finished, and then I'll do an octagon every month until they're finished, and that has all the stitching finished in November, and then I can do the fully finishing in December. So that's 27 times fast. So I got the first 2 of the hexagons done. So you called for DMC, and this is I've gone completely blank. What is that? Mount Cook lily. I was going to say Cook Islands lily. I'm like, that's not the right word. It's the Mount Cook lily, and that is the toy grass flower heads. They're fluffy. They're like long, kind of brushy sort of plants with these very feathery, fluffy heads on them. Very familiar to us New Zealanders who get out of town. So yeah, got them done. So that was kind of fun. That was the last of my kind of February monthly stitching projects that I needed to get done from all my goals. I've got like a goal sheet. I'll probably show it quarterly because it's a pain in the bum to do every month, but where I'm finishing stuff off and what have you. And then I was like, what else haven't I worked on for a little while? Our Forest Embroidery. So this is the Southern Land. I also have Northern Land kitted up, so that'll be started one day in the future. This I'm stitching on 32 count Fairy Dust by Zweigart using my own conversion. 3 threadworks and just a DMC, because the threadworks that I picked to stitch the orange apricot just was wrong, so I'm just using a DMC. This was start number 24 of 50 back in the day, in my 50 at 50 last year. Ooh, and I got on this side this blue and this pale blue orange segment. I had done that last time, so got that done, so that's pretty cool. Next time I pick it up, I'll start working in that middle bit. And then once I get that middle bit done to around about the same area, it'll be kind of 2/3 done-ish, or maybe 2/5 done, I don't really know. There are some butterflies up here that need to kind of, like for it to be fully, to meet there, there are 2 butterflies that go in. We'll probably do them at the same time. They're not the same, but they're similar. So that was kind of nice to get that done. I do enjoy it. There's a close-up of the section that I finished, stitched on. And then checking out all my goals list, I was like, oh God, I need to pull some of these things out to get anywhere near my goals. It's like February, but I'm already like, ah. And I haven't stitched on this for a while. And my goal for this, Heaven and Earth Designs, this is my only full coverage on the go. Well, no, because Carolyn Manning Designs are full coverage, but big ass project full coverage. So this chart was, I had it in a wish list at Heaven and Earth Designs, and Danny from the Cardiff Stitcher reacted this to me a couple of years ago. So I started it last year and then restarted it because I hated my fabric. So I restarted it and I got to 6% last year, not really working on it very often. It is on 20 count Aida and I'm using Core 4 DMC. And this was started, it was not one of my 50 at 50. Originally it was my New Year's Day start, hated the fabric, so I abandoned it pretty quickly, like an hour in. And then I bought some of the 20 count. I just decided 20 count Aida just is better for me. It just, I can use the sewing method still. I can't really use the sewing method on, say, 25 count over one, and it just isn't as much fun. So it's bigger, but it's quicker. So I prefer the 20 count Aida because I can just, you know, rip through it. I'm having a hot flush, I'm sorry. Be with me. I have started, I don't care if it's TMI, I don't think it is, because I think we should talk more about stuff that is every day for people. But I'm having, I've started HRT last week, so I'm on like day 9. It is. I do think this improvement is technically mostly too early to have lots of improvement. I am having less hot flushes. I've only had a couple yesterday. I'm just having one right now. So there was just, everything was getting too much. Like, especially I think almost I felt like emotionally got triggered by having all the, you know, a couple of rough weeks, and it just felt like, okay, I have to really acknowledge that, yes, you know, I'm suffering from more depression than normal. It's kind of total tangent, right? But like I suffer, I mean, I've battled with, not battled with, that's the wrong word. I live with mild depression. Sometimes I need to be medicated. Like, you know, when I say sometimes, like for 3 years, you know, I've been on and off medication since I was in my 20s, for various times, often triggered by, you know, traumatic events that become too much, like a really serious back injury that I was partially paralyzed, and when my mum died, or was when my mum was died and my mum died, and, you know, blah, blah. So it's a thing, right? And I've always had anxiety as a child. From when I was a child, I suffer from anxiety, and I sometimes get panic attacks. So there's all that sort of stuff, which is usually I can manage quite well, but all that stuff was getting a bit much. The physical changes that you go through, and it sort of started off really slow, and it just got like crazy. So I got to the point where I just rang up my doctor and I said, we talked about this last time I visited you. I was waiting to be referred to the menopause clinic. Their wait list is ridiculously long. They just don't have the resources available to get in. And this is paying private too. Like, this is not like funded. The clinic is not funded. It's a private service. You pay, you know, $260 for your first appointment and $90, whatever. But you know, anyway, so we had a chat, we had a phone consult and stuff. Anyway, I'm starting to feel better, and I'm, you know, hopefully it works for me, because I just got to the point where I was like, you know, there's this checklist, you fill in like 16 things. I think I checked, and it says if you score 3 of them, it's considered severe, and I ticked 13 of the boxes, and then a couple of them I'm like, probably, like, but I don't know, I'm always irritable. So am I more irritable? I don't live with anybody to tell me you're a pain in the ass, but I know I am. Distracted. So how the hell did I get onto that? I have no idea. The brain thing, far out. Anyway. Oh, that's right, because I got a hot flash. It's easy. So, blah, blah, blah. Mystic Moments 1. When I finished the year, I had finished around 6%, and I hadn't worked on it too much. I had probably like 3 good chunks of stitching to get that far. I am the kind of person who can get 3,000 stitches into a HAED. Like, it's not that hard for me, especially when you're just doing huge wadges of beige. My goal for this is to get to, I think I said, did I say 20%? I think my goal is to get to 20% this year, which is totally doable. It's totally doable for me. I probably could get to 50% on this, actually, if that's all I stitched on. But I'm not going to only stitch on this. And 20% probably is realistic, but maybe not with the other goals of all the other finishes, like finishing this and finishing all the other things that I want to finish. So we'll see. We'll aim for that. But I did get to just over 8% this week, so I've stitched 2% on this. And it's still lots of beige, but you can probably see, so I just filled in, more up here, and just more through here. I'm just sort of working my way back and forward, picking a colour. But I am at the stage now, you can see by the gaps, I'm where this, I'm in here. So I'm just getting into this cracked pavementy bit, and I'm very close to starting the dress. Or the bottom of her dress. So I wanted to get quite a bit of background done before I started on the pretty bits, because while quick to stitch, it's not that exciting to show you all, and I wasn't going to show you until I got to 10%, but I'm showing you at 8%, so I got quite a bit done. So it'll have a little break, but then when I next pick it up, I'm happy that I've come enough up the sides that I can start filling in here. So I'm going to start doing more confetti. You're going to see more colour coming in. I'm going to see more colour coming in, which is going to be exciting. The background is really different to the chart, like the way that it's been, like this is the shadowy bit, but I'm okay with that. I'm pretty happy with the mock-up of her, what she looks like, which is really all I care about. So you can see how the chart's been converted. That darker bit here is really dark on here, but I actually quite like it. Like, you're not going to be comparing the picture to the finished design. And I mean, I'm never going to get this framed. It's just one of those projects for shits and giggles, really. Maybe, I don't know. So that's where I got to on that. I'm really happy with that progress. And I am kind of looking forward now to getting some colour in. There is one colour in this chart that has 10 stitches. I think it's a red, and I don't know where it is, but it's probably in the belt or something. But yeah, I'm kind of like, where are those 10 stitches? 10 stitches out of 302,000 stitches. So if I did 2%, 300, so I did about 6,500, no, probably about 6,100 stitches on this week. It can happen. And I did kind of put a hole in my finger too, because I did lots of rows and rows. Oh, what was that? Sorry, it's like wet bang. It's a balloon. It was a little yellow balloon. Must have been flying past, and anyway, it was a bit much. So then I decided I wanted to do I wanted a little project to work on. So I picked something out of my box of kits. So I did a start and a finish, because I haven't had one of them for a while. And I just grabbed Birdhouse Garden. I picked this up on sale from Art and Frame in Christchurch a while back when they had some stuff on sale. Cute little garden design. One day I'd like to have a wall of gardens samplers, but I haven't got any of them framed. So I did this one, and so it's from the Heart Needlearts by Wendy, and I used a scrap of 32 count fairy dust, ironically, or not really ironically at all, but happened to be a scrap cut off when I cut the fabric for Southern Land. So I ended up stitching on 2 projects on the same fabric, which happens more often than you think. And yeah, I used an overdyed conversion, so mostly Tom and Lily, and then a couple of, I think I had a Victorian Motto sampler shop, and I had a weeks too, because I didn't have enough browns. I think the fence post colour is a weeks, and the alphabet colour is the Victorian motto, and all the pretty colours are Tom and Lily. I've got to start and finish. So I started this yesterday and I just finished it this morning. I had a little bit up here to do. I'm really happy with it. It's a sweet, sweet little design. So nice to have a little start and finish. Nice to, one less thing in my box now that I'm putting more things back in it. I am going to give this one away. I haven't given anything away for a little while. It's just been I did have a lot that I gave away last year, and it was quite painful for the old wallet, but I will give this away. I'm happy to post this anyway because it's not too big. I'm probably going to be a little bit more careful. Oh, I said that before and I lied. Anyone can win this, be in for this, and it's, yeah, sweet little design. It's also a separate little chart to do a little pillow. Use the keyword Birdhouse, one word, BIRDHOUSE. Avoid all those trigger words that spam bots look for, like giveaway, free, prize, all that sort of malarkey. I understand there's been some nuisance bots or people or code going around answering people's comments on YouTube saying, you've won a prize, log in here. Never going to happen. I will always announce you on my YouTube video, and then I usually, most of the time if I remember, go back to your comment and I will say, congratulations, you know, flick me an email to my email address in the doobly-doo, and I'll get that off to you. Like, I'm never going to get you to log into anything. It's always going to be pretty basic. So yeah, keyword Birdhouse. It'll go anywhere in the world. It'll just be shoved into an envelope. Or put a bit of card, but you know, of course it's in pristine condition. It's been taken out of the packet a couple of times. I haven't marked the chart. Yeah, if you'd like to stitch it, put your name in the drawer for that. That's it. That's my weekly ramble. It got a bit rambly there, but whatever. I'm gonna wrap it up, get this edited. It's the first video that I filmed on my new phone. I upgraded after 5.5 years to fancy schmancy new iPhone. Boy, are they expensive. And then it went missing in the post. And it was tracked and everything, but I had to put a claim in. And I'm like, surely the courier driver is not absconded. And he basically, anyway, it had left the debt. Anyway, it turned up. So I don't know where it was, sitting under the seat in his van maybe. It's like, it's the most expensive thing I've ordered, I think, online. It probably isn't, but it's up there. So it'll be interesting to see what this looks like. It's certainly nice having a bigger screen. It's nice having a screen that's not cracked. And it's nice having a phone with some bloody memory. So, yeah, I bought the new iPhone, so I'm not one to buy brand new things for the sake of it, but I figure, yeah, 5.5 years out of the other phone. I mean, if the battery, I would have replaced the battery if I had woken up one morning and the screen was cracked, and I don't recall any trauma to it. I think I don't know, it's random. Okay, who cares? Sunday afternoon, I need to edit this, get it up, and yeah, see you all next week. So until then, if I'm enjoying your stitching, again, my heart goes out to anyone who's been impacted in any way by the weather, by cyclone. Is it Cyclone Gabrielle? By the cyclone the other week, and hope you find strength and support where you need it to get through and rebuild your lives, basically. Don't let your needles rust. Ciao.